Let me just get this open.
Doom has come to Craglorn. The stars have vanished from the sky. Will no one listen? Will no one help?
My prices can't be beat.
They say the Weiruses drove an old witch out of the Hag Fen. Even so, the Weird Sisters make me nervous.
I didn't put any stock into the words of those stargazers until I saw my first sand giant. It cut a horse in half. I haven't run so fast since I was stealing meat on the streets of Riften. Now we're all listening a bit more closely. Everyone is these days. Funny how a few months ago, they were just a bunch of star-obsessed loonies. Now, they're the only folks with any idea what's going on. Their observatory is up on top of that big hill there. Can't miss it.
It may just be my imagination, but it feels cold and dark now that the stars have fallen from the sky.
Speak quickly. I am very busy and our order is stretched to the breaking point. Of course, I'm sorry. You've come to help us and I'm being rude. Then I'll start from the beginning. A short while ago, the three guardian star signs, the warrior, the mage, and the thief, vanished from the night sky. I wish I knew. I've studied the stars my whole life. I've heard them speak, but now they're silent. It's eerie. All I know is when the Guardians disappeared, 3 powerful beings started attacking Craglorn. They call themselves the Celestials. I don't know. It's not a name I'd ever heard before. 2 of the Celestials identify themselves as the Warrior and the Mage. The third, strangely, calls himself the Serpent, after the 13th constellation. The thief is nowhere to be found. Stargazers consists of scholars who are no match for the current threat. We need champions to face the Warrior, the Mage, and the Serpent, and, if possible, to find the thief. Join us. Be our strong arm, our sharp sword against the Celestials. Thank you. We have a lot of work to do. But first, you must become an official member of our order. Enter the Circle of Stars and accept our blessing. Stars above, let this new light do your will.
Accept them, O stars.
Let them always follow where you lead.
Oh, please aid them.
And bless them to restore those who have fallen from glory, our missing guardians.
Oh, please bless them.
We must talk. Do not be afraid. I am a friend. Forgive me. I did not know any other way to contact you without revealing myself. Even now, the Serpent's followers, the Scaled Court, are searching for me. I am the Celestial Thief. I appeared with the other Guardians when the Serpent broke free and manifested in Tamriel. One by one, the Serpent trapped the others. First the Warrior, then the Mage. He wants to do the same to me. Yes, they attacked Craglorn against their will. Listen, the Serpent's nature is chaos. He wants to undermine the very order of reality. He will not stop with Craglorn. My power alone is not enough. You must free the other Guardians. I will help you as much as I dare, but the Serpent is looking for me. If he ensnares me as he has the others, all is lost. Hara and the Stargazers will help you. Use their knowledge. Look for the presence of the Scaled Court. Where they are, the Serpent is surely at work. But you must not tell anyone you saw me. The Serpent's followers are everywhere. In a way, just as you might look at a picture of the star signs and say, that's the thief, or that's the warrior. Just so, I'm the thief, or one way of seeing the thief. Of the 12 rightful star signs, it's the Guardian's duty to protect the lesser signs, our charges, against the destructive ways of the Serpent. With the Warrior and Mage under the Serpent's control, their charges are vulnerable. So is Tamriel. It would be surprising if I didn't. The Stargazers are only dimly aware of it, but they carry an ancient legacy as students of the star signs. Their devotion has not gone unnoticed. You have been accepted by the stars above. You are now one of us. The stars have accepted you. I just hope it is not too late. Volumes of prophecy have been written about the stars, but not even the oracles foresaw these events. Gather allies before you leave the city. You'll need loyal friends to face the armies of the Warrior, the Mage, and the Serpent. Return to me each time you learn something new. I will use what you learn to devise a plan to defeat the Celestials. It appears that the Serpent has gathered the bulk of his forces in the mountainous region to the north and sealed himself within. So much the better. That gives us a chance to learn what we can about this threat and plan a defense. Tradition holds that the Warrior is one of the Guardians who defends the other stars against the Serpent. But the Warrior Celestial who has recently appeared is no friend. He commands a merciless army of ancient Yokudan warriors called the Ankara. All I know is they are ancient and dangerous. I've heard intriguing rumors from the Daggerfall Covenant outpost to the west of a champion who appeared about the same time as the Ankara. That may be a good place to start looking for answers. One of our number, Errol, has been examining old Nedic writings on the subject. He hopes to find insight into the Celestial's sudden appearance. Errol is smart, but he's not exactly battle-hardened. I'd be grateful if you'd help him. Tradition holds that the mage, the warrior, and the thief are the guardian star signs. But the magical events in the foothills of Craglorn, including an ever-growing army of Atronachs, suggest that the mage has fallen under the Serpent's control. The Atronachs were originally summoned by a circle of conjurers from the city of Elenhir to defend Craglorn against the Dark Anchors, but it's clear they're answering to another master now. And if anything, their numbers are growing. I'm at a loss. The conjurers who summoned the Atronachs have disappeared, but since the Atronachs were summoned to defeat the Dark Anchors, perhaps the Dolmens hold a clue. Strange things, difficult to describe. A large spell scar in the middle of the desert, and the appearance of 2 high elves in Belkarth, each claiming to be the mage herself. It's as if the mage tried to fight back against the serpent and lost. I wouldn't rule it out, but I haven't had time to look into their claims. You're free to investigate, but be wary of a trap. The serpent could simply be baiting us. Last I heard, the women were still at the Crossroads Tavern here in Belkarth.
You're very welcome among our order, my new friend. It's a frightening time, and we could use allies like you. Feel free to get to know the other stargazers here. I'm sure some of them could use your help. Nobody. Just an old scholar with no particular skill except tracking the stars. I always believed that the stars bless heroes with the gifts to face the troubles of their time. But now, the stars themselves are troubled. I'm afraid this is the end. Of course, there are 13 star signs. The warrior, the mage, and the thief are called the Guardians because they each govern 3 charges. They watch over Tamriel. Distant, impersonal, but I like to think benevolent. The Serpent. Originally, there were only 12 signs, but the Serpent usurped his place in the night sky. He does not appear at a fixed time, but darts chaotically through the seasons, attacking the Guardian's charges. She's very wise and very knowledgeable about the stars. She came to us only a short while ago, after living in seclusion and studying the old Yakutan astrological traditions. The extent of her knowledge is impressive, and she's been very helpful. Many people come to Craglorn to live and study in peace. We are fortunate that Hara saw the signs when she did. Without her help, Belkarth would have been overrun along with the rest of Craglorn when the trouble started.
Help! Please! Many lives! Please, you must help. There was a terrible accident. My colleague is in grave danger. My colleague, Kelman Locke. We're sorcerers. He leads my circle, or Lehadai. We sought to shatter a dark anchor at its base, to show the Fighters Guild we can do it more efficiently, so we traveled to the Proving Grounds Dolmen, but our plan went horribly awry. The Circle summoned Atronachs to destroy the dark anchor. Instead, they turned on the Circle. One of the Celestials must have caused it. I'm no conjurer. I wasn't next to the summoning when it happened. It's the only reason I escaped to seek help.
He fell right out of the sky, like a bare-arsed comet. You're here to laugh at me as well? I saw what I saw. He was naked as the full moons in a cloudless sky. Dragon Star Arena, where I lost everything. A sure win, they said. Only fools wouldn't bet, they said. Then that bare-arsed imbecile dropped out of nowhere and threw the match. Out of thin air shouting nonsense about defeating the Ankara. The guard took him to Bankarai Gate if you're headed that way. He's the indecent Imperial going on about Celestial this and that. If you see him, tell him he owes me 1,000 gold.
I wish I had time to help Errol, but my hands are full right now. These are dark times, and the Stargazers are a shadow of who we once were, but our role remains more important than ever. Me? Oh, I'm just picking up supplies for the observatory. Not a task for someone who has seen and done all that you have. Errol, on the other hand, was going on about ancient ruins and magical amulets or some such. It all sounded very exciting. A researcher. Very bright, but often too absorbed in his work, if you ask me. Still, I like to help him when I can. Right now, he's on the trail of... Oh, it's better if you just ask him about it. I'd just get it all wrong.
I think I'll go to Dragonstar. There's an arena up there. Lots of
The
gold for
Celestial
taking.
Mage. You were at the observatory earlier, weren't you? I thought I saw you talking to Hara. Are you going to visit the tavern? If so, watch out for 2 lunatic high elves. I don't know if they're dangerous, but you can never tell. The 2 high elves inside the tavern claim, quite loudly in fact, that they are aspects of the mage. The very celestial that fell from our starry skies. I took my drink and came out here. My companion, not so lucky. They're asking the Stargazers to help them put the pieces back together, or some such nonsense. Even offered to let me touch some strange relic to see the truth. But let me tell you, nothing good has ever come from touching strange relics. When the High Elves approach you, remember that I warned you. Those women have a strange way of spotting anything related to the Stargazers. And guess what? If you're working with Hara, you're related to us now. They've been making a nuisance of themselves in Belkarth for the last few days. Claim they need to speak to Hara of the Stargazers immediately. Of course Hara hasn't been available, so they came here to wait. No, and that's why we're here. Hara wanted us to make sure they had legitimate business with the Stargazers before she sees them. But all I found out is that they're legitimately crazy. Still, I kind of want to believe them, you know. Well, for one thing, all of the pictures of the constellations portray the mage as a bearded old man. For another, shouldn't the Celestials look more, I don't know, intimidating?
extortion among friends.
O divines, grant rest to these fallen ones. Will you say a prayer for those who have fallen?